Hello and welcome to the mill. I am your host, Dusty Crane, and today I'm going to do a solo playthrough since y'all keep asking for it. So let's go ahead, and I didn't really do much setup because I figured, maybe there's some value in that. I did go ahead and give the cards a shuffle, but that is about it. So let's go ahead and start by doing some shuffling here. Get these. These are the A through D card, the location cards, and we'll just go 1, 2, 3, and 4. That was the order they were in. And now we have to do the Luna bonus card. And I know this is a little bit out of order. I'm sure it's just I've done this a few times, and so I'm just kind of doing it as I think of it. So the B and C pair is a pairing you see right here. So what we have to do is whatever opposite or whatever, so B and C, so B is Luna, C will be the bonus. We'll flip this card over to the Institute and drop that back there. Obviously, this will just differ based on which pair you draw. Had this been A and this been D, then there'd be a Mars up there. So that's just how that goes. Now we need to get some cards out on the location. I'll go ahead and just do 1, 2. I like to kind of make it straight for whatever reason. I know it won't last that way for long, so I'm not exactly sure why. I guess I'll go ahead and take my hand for now. I'll just set this right here. And Tull Automa starts with, let's go over here. Starts with 2 cards, and I don't know what they are, and I shouldn't know what they are, so I'm going to move that right there. Hopefully we don't lose any dice rolls, but there's 2 cards right there. Now, I already have blue out. That doesn't mean I've decided what's going on there yet. Go ahead and do this like that, but hey, I'm playing solo. I can play with whatever colors make me happy, right? How that's going to work is I'll still randomly draw a house, but I'm playing with the blue pieces because I want to. And it's my channel, my table. Who's going to tell me no, right? I'm sure someone will tell me no. That is how it goes. So I'm going to go ahead and play the way it's recommended, just in, kind of the rule book there. If I draw house series, I'm not going to play it just so I have the same experience. I feel like I use that in the in the playthrough video. We'll play as House Diana, and that's fine with me. It's very close to my mom's name, so we'll go with it. I'll put it over here since it's me. And now, as a part of setup, what we need to do is we need to figure out if we have more odd or even cards. Well, I think it's pretty obvious. This whole side over here is odd, and we got some odd over here. So this one is going to go just like this. Basically, what this tells us is in Automa's hand, any odd cards are considered matching for the sake of scoring, and any even cards are considered non-matching for the sake of scoring. And one of the things that we talked about is Automa levels, and how many points, depending on what level you're playing at, how many points that will be affected. How many points will be made for matching, how many will be made for not matching. So once I get through this little description, I'm just going to play. You guys have probably seen other people teach it. That's not what this is. I'm just going to play because one of the things that's been asked for is a time. So I'll try not to do too much talking and just let the gameplay be shown. That being said, sometimes I like to hear myself talk, as you may have noticed, and not like that ever gets me in trouble. Anyway, let's go ahead and mix up these Automa cards. And remember, we are going to take the top 4, and those just get set aside for the next time we would have to shuffle the deck. So I'll go ahead and put this right here. And I didn't end up with Apollo, so this is really anybody's. I think I'm going to let Automa go first so that hopefully I can go last and maybe I can get myself a good last turn that it can't mess with. Maybe take the Sovereign token if I want to. So I'm going to go ahead and let Automa go first. I'm going to go ahead and show my hand for you guys. Let's see how we did. Ragnar, Deanna, Surgeon, Elfrun, and Gardener. So let's see here. Some of these guys don't like to be with other assassins. These two don't mind each other, but basically, as my hand stands right now, this is a 20-point card. That one is worth 9. That one is worth 0. That one is worth 10. And that one is worth 10. So, I've got some work to do. Let's go ahead and set these right here. And let's see here. I got some decisions to make with my cards, but right now it is Automa's turn, so let's go ahead and get to it. They're going to draw 2 cards with the first one. Let's turn that around. They are going to go ahead and deploy a card to A. So we're going to take that from the top of the deck, put it right here. We got Pax. That goes right there. Now we're going to take a card from Jupiter, which this is an example where the Automa can take from the place it just deployed. And that's its first card. Super easy to run. Second one, it's going to play a card to A. So now there's the Reporter. And it's going to take the card from Mars. And I forgot to check packs, but we do know that that card that just went into the deck is an odd, so that's another matching pair, or another matching card for the Automa, so we'll have to keep an eye on that if we want to. And so that was Automa's turn. It's now my turn. Now, I know that some of these Violet cards are a good way to get more cards in your hand. Like this Reporter says, if you have more helium than the player to your right, give them the Reporter and gain the top 2 cards of the deck and then end your turn. So that is a way for me to get rid of 1 card, bring 2 in, and so I'm going to go ahead and take the Reporter. And, I guess before I take the Reporter, I have to play a card, don't I? Getting a little out of order here. Right off the gate. All right, so this might actually work okay, because this says if deployed directly on top of a violet or a pink, move that card to the top of another location and gain 1 helium. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play right here onto the violet on Mars, and then do the deploy ability, and I can move that card elsewhere. Let's say this would be a good way to get a card that you actually want. Like if I wanted Zanzibar, you know what? Because I'm doing solo and I can do that, I'm actually going to play the brown right here and move. Play the Gardener here. I'm going to move this violet to the top of another location. I'm going to move it over here to Luna. I didn't even draw my house tile. Oh, I did. I'm losing it, people. I'm losing it. It's the end of my day, so I'm a little bit tired too. Let's chalk it up to that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and move that and gain 1 helium. So now, if I do end up taking this Reporter, I have more helium than the Automa right now. So I'm going to go ahead and now I'm going to take this Reporter, and I am going to put that right there. Luna bonus is the first player, they get the sovereign token. I don't know why I said first player, probably because I looked at this thing. I got the sovereign token, and whenever you gain the sovereign token, you can go ahead and place an influence. So I'm also going to go boom and put that right there. So I am in the running there at the Institute. That is my turn. We are now back to Automa. Is going to deploy a card to A. Covering up that gardener. I can't get it back right now. Taking a card from Luna. Another odd card, unfortunately. And this means banish a card. So now it is going to take a card from right here and put it up here. So now we have the nanny that has been banished. We'll see if that means anything. So that was one card. The next card is deploy to C. And gain a card from Mars. Another odd card. And it's going to take the bonus from the card, so it's going to take the Mars bonus. Now, it has a helium too. So, we're going to have to keep an eye on that. So let's see, now that it's my turn again. If you have more helium than the player to your right, so it's not a tie, so I need more helium. So, I am in a situation right now because I want helium. I could play Deanna, but she's 26. If I get another red, she's worth a pretty decent amount. There's no reds out on the board right now, but then there are other cards that will duplicate certain colors. So, this is one of those not as easy as what is the most points kind of questions, but in order to keep things moving, let's see here, you may banish a non-gold from your hand and gain a banished gold, but there are none. She's only worth 5 for each gold, so she's kind of a throwaway. Do I have anything that's really... If deployed on Mars, reveal the top 2 of the deck and place them under this card in any order. CEO, you may regress once on the fleet track if you do gain 2 helium. You know, that might be a part of my plan. So what I'm going to do is I'll go ahead and save Deanna in case I can get another red. And I'll use the Surgeon because I don't really care about that right now. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to play this on Mars, even though I said I wanted helium. I'm going to take the CEO. Because if I go up on the fleet track, then I can gain 2 helium, which will hopefully get me out ahead. And it's going to be a 30-point card if I can at least stack some helium. So I'll go ahead and take that and gain the bonus from doing so right there. And that is my turn. So now we are back to Automa. All right, so I'm going to put a card on A. Take a card from C and gain the bonus. Another odd card. Really going Automa's way. And they get the bonus for C, which is the Institute. So they are going to go ahead and put their token up there. And now their second card. They're going to put a card on the Institute. Bondalus. And they are going to take a card, gain a card from A. So they're going to take the Diplomat, which is an even card. And they're also taking the bonus of Jupiter. So they're moving up on the fleet track. All right, so now it is my turn again. So I do need to get on the fleet track, to regress on the fleet track, to get the helium, to use the reporter, etc., etc., unless I want to get Deanna out of here, but I won't. So let's go ahead and, do I want to pick up Danto? I guess before I think about picking up, I got to think about putting stuff down, don't I? Yep. this is one of the things that you don't really, if you're doing this at home and you're playing a game, you're like, oh yeah, I forgot. But when you're doing it on camera, you're thinking not only, oh man, I just forgot, but then you start thinking about all the feedback you're going to get before you realize what you're doing. And sometimes it just kind of compounds and makes it something else you worry about even more. And then you make a few more mistakes and then a few more. So Elfrun is not really going to help me all that much. And Ragnar. Banish the top card of another location. If it's a gold or gray, place 1 influence. Well, we do have a gray. Banish the top card of another location. So I could get influence if I put him down. No, that's fine. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put him here on Mars. I'm going to trigger his deploy ability. Banish the top card of another location. If it's a gold or a gray, place 1 influence. So I'm going to get rid of Danto because I'd kind of like to have that gardener back. And so he's banished. Ragnar assassinated him. Or at least he thinks he does. I guess he could come back. So Danto's out of there. Now I can place an influence at the Institute. So I will do that. And now I can take a card. And I wanted the gardener anyway, so this worked out well for me. So I'm going to take the gardener. And I guess I really only wanted him if there was a violet out there. Well, maybe after I play the reporter. So I'll take him. And that's the Jupiter. I'm going to move up on the fleet track. And that is my turn. We're now back to Automa. Going to go ahead and put a card on Luna. A Razor Designer. Going to pick up a card from Ace. They're taking the Bone Riders, which is another odd card. And gaining the bonus, they move up on Jupiter. And their next card is Deploy to B. And then gain from B. So I'm not even going to put it down. Except for we know it's an even. And they are going to get the bonus, which is the Luna bonus, which means they are getting this sovereign token from me. And because they have the Luna bonus card here, they also get to place a influence at the Institute. I guess this kind of serves as almost like a personality. You know what the Automa is going to work on. I know the Automa can be difficult getting influence if I don't try and keep this empty, so it has to move on. And I think that was both cards played, because I think the first one was... We'll see. What's nice is these always have to be in pairs, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're good. It's now my turn again. Why do I doubt that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, yep, it is my turn again. Okay, so for my turn, see, I'm going to remember to do it this time. I'm going to go ahead and... let's see here. Play the CEO. And I think I'll play the CEO to Jupiter. Well, let's do it to Mars, because I'm going to gain some helium. That seems kind of... Although I guess, you know what? I'm going to put it on Luna, and here's why. Because, well, I want to empty Luna. At the end case, it's an even number. And since I don't really care, I'm going to put it on top of an odd, since that could potentially hurt the Automa. And I could put it over there on top of Holiday, except for I want that bonus. So I'm going to go ahead and play this right here. And I will regress once, because it's 1 point, but for 2 helium. So that was a 1 for 6 trade. So now I have 3 helium. And now I get to take a card. So I am going to... now I get to play a card. No, wait, no, I just played the CEO. Oh my gosh, this is what I get for doing this. Just a second. Caffeine, maybe that'll help. Oh, goodness gracious. All right, so played the CEO, got my helium. Now I get to take a card. And I'm going to take Holiday to get that fleet track position right back again. At this point, I'm not terribly worried about the cards in my hand. Although, maybe I should be a little bit more concerned than I am. Hey, if I lose, I lose. So that is, and then I get to move up here for my bonus, and now we are back to Automa. So deploy a card to C. Gain a card from D. And put a card on Mars. Draw a card D, so they're just going to get it back again. And now they're getting helium because of this star here. So, and that was both of those. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And we're back to my turn. So you can see, you can fire these through real quick, especially if you're not talking like me. So now is the time to play the reporter. If you have more helium than the player to your right, give them the reporter and gain the top 2 cards of the deck, and then end your turn. So it's an even card. It's not going to hurt as much as it could. So I'm going to give this, I have more helium. I got 3. They got 2. And I'm going to go ahead and give them that. And then I am going to take the top 2 cards from the deck here. Let's see if it worked out for me. I'd like one of these to be a red. And they're not. But I got Colonel Valentine, maybe. Maybe that's how he pronounces it. But he's a gray. Maybe he's a tin pot. Move a gold from any location under this card. You may gain that card if you do end the turn. Or Virga, advance twice on the fleet track, and then all other players advance 1. So this one, you'd want to get at least 15 more points. Ideally, though, you want to be at 9 or 10. And Colonel Valentine. All right. So that's about fleet tracks. This is about golds at each location, of which there's only 1. So he's a 15-point card right now. All right. It is now. But I got a couple extra cards in hand. So I'm going to play to C. Pick up from B. And they're going to banish a card. Oh, the Grab Boot Cobbler. I like that one. And the next card, they're going to play to Jupiter and pick up at B and gain the bonus. Darn it. So, odd card. And they're getting the Luna bonus. They already get this. They get to hang on to that. But they also get to place an influence. So we got a 3-way tie there at the Institute. It is now my turn. What do I want to play down? I am going to... This one's worth 15. Orange and blue. That one's worth 20. So let's get rid of Elfrun, because I don't think even I have to have all 2 of his buddies to make him a 30-point card. So his deploy bonus isn't going to help me. So maybe can I deploy that on top of a violet or a pink? No. So the Gardener doesn't help right now. Deanna, she's getting me worried. I'm not seeing any red. So I'm going to play this to... I'm going to play this to... I'll play it to Mars. Why not? Because I don't necessarily need that ability or want those points. So you may gain Nero or Jaffo from this location. If you do, regain Elfrun and end your turn. I don't know. They're not even out there, so it doesn't really matter. And I'm not going to get a bonus for it. So I guess what I'm going to do then is I'll go ahead and take Invictus. Yeah, because my other option is the Hollow Designer which lets me reorder things, which I know is good if you have the right cards, but it's not doing anything for me right now. So I'm going to do that. Took that from Jupiter. That's going to move me up here. And now we're back to Automa. So they're going to place a card at the Institute and then pick up from the Institute. And so that would have been deployed there. We know it's another odd. Oof. And then they're going to gain the bonus to the Institute, which is put one of the influence out. So now they're leading at the Institute. And for their second turn, they're going to put a card on Luna. And then take from Luna. And gain the bonus there. So nice. Lucky for them. All right, so they've got 5. That's really right now, that's the race that's the furthest to getting us to endgame. So that was both of theirs. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. All right. So another thing that when you're narrating is I feel like I'm talking through their turns. I'm not really thinking about what I want to do. But that's okay. That's okay. Let's go ahead and do this. This says, if deployed on Mars, advance once on the fleet track. Hopefully I can get this back. But this is one of the risks, just like in the regular game. Someone else could see it. Obviously, Automa has 2 chances to take it from me. Deployed it to Mars to move up there. And I am going to... Oops. No, yeah, that's right. I did the deployability. I'm like, I didn't take from Jupiter. That's what I get. I should just play and not talk. All right, so I guess I'm getting the Holo Designer. Oh, I don't really care about the Holo. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the card from the top of the deck, which is Mustang. Gain 1 banished card. If that card is not gold, then banish Mustang. Alright, so, and she's 5 for each different color, so she right now is, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so she's a pretty good points card for me now. I'll hang on to Mustang for a little while. Now, because I drew from the top of the deck, what I'm going to go ahead and do is roll the Rising die and see which bonus I get. Ugh. Not one that I wanted. So this is banish a card. All right. So this is banish a card. What I'm going to do is I can banish a card from the top of any location. So I'm going to get rid of the Holo Designer. I'm going to put them up there. Get that banish pile growing. Put that there. Okay. So now we are to Automa's turn. They're going to put a card down at D, which buries the card I want, but it's pink. And they're going to take this card from the Institute, which is another odd, boo, and they gain the Institute bonus. So, one more at the Institute, and that's one of the endgame triggers already met. Now they're going to deploy a card to Jupiter and take from Jupiter, which is another odd card, and banish a card from the top of the deck, which is the Seer. All right, so we are to my turn, and I am really kind of... Didn't this one set a violet or a pink? The Gardener. If deployed directly on top of a violet or pink, move that card on top of another location and gain a 1. Okay, so this is going to help me bring some helium in. I'm going to go ahead and deploy the card here on Mars. And since it was on top of a pink, I'm going to move that card to another location and gain a helium. So the question is, I probably definitely need to get another influence, so I'm at least, ahead of that player right there. Move the card directly under this one to the top of another location. If it's a silver, gain 1 helium. So I'd want to put this on top of a silver if I could. Do I want, if deployed on Mars, banish 1 non-gold, and that's worth 25, possibly 30 at the end. I guess I will put her... Where do I want to... I'm going to pick her card up. So I will go ahead and play to the Institute and then pick her up over here for my take a card and gain the Institute bonus, which brings me up to 4 there. So at second place, those are still only worth 2, which I have to assume I'm probably going to lose that. I can continue to focus on the Institute if I want. I don't think I'm going to beat Automa at their own privileged area there with the sovereign token and that Luna bonus. So I think I might choose to focus on, at this point, jumps that the fleet track are worth more than the helium, so I think I might try and work Jupiter. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how much time I actually have left to do what I say I want to do here. So I took my turn. Let's go ahead and take Automas. So they are going to deploy to Jupiter and take it. And another odd card. And they are going to get the bonus for that. And they're going to move here. And then for their last card, they're going to put a card down on Luna and picking up a 35-point card. And I have what it wants. Ugh. 35-point for Morningstar. And it's going to take it, so it's putting another over here. Well, shoot. Now it is my turn. Let's see here. Not a silver, although I can move one of these cards if I want it. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move the card directly under this to the top of another location. So I'm not doing myself the favor I thought I was here. So do I want the gardener again? Or do I want this card here? It's basically going to be worth 25 or 30 if I can get. So I'll do that. I'll go ahead and move the card under this one to the top of another location. And then I'll put it over here on Jupiter. And I will take from Jupiter. And then move up the track here. And that is my turn. Now we are out of Automa cards. So remember these 4 from earlier that we have there. We'll go ahead and bring those in. Shuffle however you want. I'll do that a couple times, then I'll just cut the deck somewhere, and then I'll go 1. And then I'll do, let's say I do this. 2, 3, 4. And then I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Set those aside. Hopefully Automa doesn't get through its deck again, because that's just going to hurt me. And let's take its 2 turns. It's going to play a card to B and gain from B. And he's going to move up that track again. Not good. This is not looking good for me, y'all, because my hand is terrible and Automa is doing everything right. All right, so now we're going to play to B. and gain from Jupiter. But look, there's nothing to gain from Jupiter, and so it can't take nothing. It's going to follow this tiebreaker arrow to the other side of the board. So it's over here at the Institute now because it went this way off that board, came this way, and it is going to take the garden trained rose from the Institute, and it is going to gain the bonus of the Institute, of course. So up to 9. Aren't you? See, I knew I wasn't going to stand any chance here. So now that is over. Mercifully, I think it's time to... Oh, what am I going to do? Oh. Let's see where we're standing here. Right now, Virga is a 10-point card. Holiday can be treated as one of any other color. So that actually works with Deanna. So she's worth hanging on to now due to Holiday. This one is still only 10 points. So this is orange and blue on all locations. So that's, a 20-point card. This is going to be what we already talked about. This one is going to be able to be another color if we wanted it to. There's only 1 gold on another location, which could go away. So this is a 15-point card. Colonel Valentine is not really helping me. If with a gold, if with the sovereign token to make him 30. And then Deanna, we'll hang on to her. So she's staying in the hand no matter what. And so with that being the case, I'm going to go ahead and put Holiday there because that's going to be the other red for her. And Mustang is most likely hanging around because she'll be worth at least a few extra points just for each different color. These ones, Bondus is probably hanging around for now. We'll put him right there. And I really think it's going to be Colonel Valentin who is going. And I am going to play him. I wish I had something there at Jupiter, which isn't going to help me right now. But, well, let's see here. I won't gain the bonus if I do that. But I can go ahead and say, I'll go ahead and move Asia under him over here at Jupiter so that I have something to take on a future turn. But also because if there's golds on the board, I think that helps. Or, no, that might have been him. In any case, let's see, who do I want to take now? The Janitor is new to me. If deployed directly on top of a green, yellow, or blue, which we don't have currently, move that card to the top of another location and advance 1 on the fleet track, but 5 for each green, yellow, and blue, which I would... It's still a low value card, but so are the ones I have in front of me. So I'm going to take the Janitor anyway. Oh, wait, that's from the Institute. Do I really want to do that? That's just kind of an iffy one. No. I'm going to take the Gardener. And that was on Mars. It's going to give me another 3 victory points in the form of helium, which is all right by me right now, I suppose. It's not looking good for me, really. So we're going to deploy to A and gain from it. So it takes Bridge. And then its next card is going to deploy to A. Take from Luna. And then banish a card. A Silver Stockbroker. And that is its turn. For my part, I'm going to play, let's see if you're further on the fleet track. There's another way to grow my hand. So what I'm going to do If deployed and directly on top of a violet or a pink, move that card to the top of another location and gain 1 helium. So I'm going to do this and move this here. I'm going to gain a helium. And now I'm getting very close to an endgame trigger. That's already there. Oof. If I take this, I am getting us that much closer. But I want it. I'm going to take it. So I'm taking this right here. Need to stay ahead on that fleet track if I can. And because I went to Mars, I'm taking another helium. We got 2 endgame triggers reached. So when one of us reaches 7 on the track, or 7 if they gain 7 helium, it's curtains. So let's see what we get. Or if I get 7 on the Institute. That seems unlikely though. So I think I got these all mixed up again. It is going to deploy a card to D and take from C. And that is that. And then for its second card, it is going to deploy to Jupiter and take from Jupiter. Took Fitchner and gain the bonus. So unfortunately we're tied. And this one, nope, I need to be ahead. So I can't use that card right now, but I can use it next turn. So if I want here, if I play Virga, I'm pushing the end game, which, can I get there? That would be a nice card to I'm gonna, ooh, am I gonna risk it? Because basically what we have here is I could do one of those 3 jumps. If I was really happy with my hand right now, I'd do it. I'm not, but I'm not sure that I'm going to get that much happier with it. And that's going to be worth 30 if I, okay, I'm pushing it. So here's what I'm doing. I'm going to play Virga to here. And it says advance twice on the fleet track, which I will. Boom, boom. Right there, advance twice. And then all other players advance on the fleet track. So I gave one to Automa, because Tal will always take what you offer her. And now, to take my card, I'll take from Jupiter, which isn't going to help me, but I can't take, well, do I want to take from Jupiter? That would definitely push the end game. I might get one more turn out if I do it, but that could be very beneficial for Tal, so I'm just going to take it. It's kind of a for each violet and pink. Ugh. This is going to end up being a 15-point card, which stinks, but maybe the extra jump there will do it. So now we have reached all the endgame triggers. And what this means is all players have taken the same amount of turns at this point. The game is over. It's all over but the crying. Let's find out what we're working with here. All right. This is my little pad here, and how I kind of break this up is I just kind of break it into one of them into half just to get more games on there, and I do me, and I do Automa, and I do date. So 4-1, I don't know when you're seeing this, but it's 4-1 today. Automa automatically starts with 7. So now we have to discard down to 20. I'm going to play at level 2 since that is what it's recommended to kind of start with in the book. So for each matching is going to be, let's see, let's take a look at this. One of these has a scoring card on it. Nope, I was wrong. Let's see. Let's break out the old Automa book. I want to say it's 6 and 3. It is 6 and 3. So that means each matching card will be worth 6, and each non-matching will be worth 3. So we're going to take this deck, and we're going to sort it into odds and evens. So we'll put odds on top. And now, this is just the way I do it. I'm just going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 matching. Ouch. And non-match, 17, 18, 19, 20. So then there'll be 3 non-matching, and we don't really care about those. We just know there's 3 of them. And now we do math. 17 times 6 is 59. 3 times 3 is a 9. And their fleet track position is worth 15 victory points. They have 6 VP and helium. Unfortunately, they ended with that sovereign token. And they're going to get 4 for each of these. 4 times 9 is 36. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, Automa ended up with a score of 205, which is not bad. Not bad. Level 2. Let's see how I did, though. So, now let's check out our end of game. So basically, I'm going to turn Holiday into a red. That's what this is. There's no points in doing that. So I'm just going to have that be 0. Now their cards, let's see here. So Vlogger, he is, if you're furthest on the fleet track or tied for furthest, and I'm furthest, so that's 23 plus 7, so that's 30. And I don't have a scrap pad here. I'll just do 30. Gardner here is 10 plus 5 for each violet in pink, which I only have the 1, so this is 15. Bondalus is, he's with the gold, so he's 25. Mustang is 20 and 5 for each different color, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's an additional 25. So she's a 45 point card. Can't complain about that at all. Let's go ahead and look at Holiday, who I said, remember, is a red. This one is 5 for each orange and blue on all locations, which there's 2, so that's 10. A 25 point card. And then Deanna, who is 26 with another red. So that is a 35 point card. Nice. I guess that's actually right there. Whatever. My position on the fleet track is 28. My VP Let's see here. We got 7 of those. That's 21. 0 there. Maybe 2, 4, 6, 8. All right. Is it enough? That is a final score of 232. So I was able to pull off the win for you here on level 2. I don't think that would have worked on level 3, but something to keep in mind is if you were curious whether or not you'd beat the next level, all you have to do is go back up here to this number. In this case, it was 6 and 3. You could have looked at level 3, which have been 8 and 4, and figure out what those new scores would have been. So I could have said, hey, this is a level 2 victory, level 3 loss, or level 2 victory, level 3 victory, level 4 loss. Like however you want to record that. It's for your own fun here. I hope this was helpful. I'm real sorry about kind of the goofs there at the beginning, but I don't think they affected anything. I think I caught them before there's too much scary wrongness going on. In this case, let's make sure I didn't have more than 7. I don't think I did. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, because I wasn't able to get the vlogger out again to add 2 more to my deck, but that's all right. That worked out. In the end, I was able to push the end game. Don't know if I could have pushed it much further. Maybe another round. Although they could have added another 4 victory points. You can see you can kind of get out of hand. So you kind of want to push that race a little bit. But I hope this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, let me know. This is available right now, even before pre-order on Tabletopia. You can go ahead and give it a shot for yourself. And let me know in the comments what you think. Thanks so much for joining me. Take care of yourselves.